Right. Well, where they
Oh
didn't
yeah.
seem to go south was where Eland is. So, Eland, power is now draining, and you see a couple people kind of realizing this. They start going over the doors, and you see they're tapping at the doors, and the doors aren't moving. Um, some of them are trying to pull on the manual, but it seems to be kind of stuck. And remember, these are big, big doors. They seem to be having trouble trying to get out.
Well, of course the doors would go down. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. As will the elevators. Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, what's he doing?
He comes over by you, signals out. Let's hope that they're doing okay on their end.
Power's
Oh,
going down too.
right, the doors. We should have gotten out before we let the little one get rid of the power.
It wouldn't have been much difference. We might have made it to the door before the power started draining, and it still would be in the situation we're in. Only they might know of our position. So,
Well, got any ideas?
not off the top of my head, or at least not right now. Other than making or waiting for them to get the doors open, which that could be a while.
We don't have that kind of time. Maybe we need to get a little power source through the doors ourselves.
That is possible. I've got a few powder packs that would help if we need.
Okay, you get to take care of the door. I'll see what I can do about messing with these guys.
All right, and Alan will head off towards the computer at the door, see if he can't get a little power to the door and get it opened.
Okay.
I'm using the force. Yay.
You did well too. I gotta remember to switch between everyone. Right. You stand by the door, waiting, and then after a few minutes, or a few seconds, I should say, um, you hear a crackle of pop, and you look over in the blue dome thing, which is now powered off. It starts to kind of explode and crackle in blue light. Um, and it's a little bit blinding, and you see the people in the door and by the consoles, they all start freaking out and running over towards it. The door is now free.
All right, now is this a used mechanic or a used computer? Mechanics or
This
used computer?
this will be mechanics.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, so describe what you're trying to do.
Basically, take one of my power packs since I have a number of them, uh, and basically hotwire it into the door to give it emergency power so it'll open. Take the
Okay,
green wire, take the blue wire, maybe the red if it looks nice.
Immediately, everyone with it who can hear you loses all confidence in your mechanical ability.
It's like plugging in a battery, right?
You start making your way. You start making your head some headway with it, but you realize it's a lot more complex than you thought. If you think you can do this, it's just going to take you a little bit longer than you thought. Hopefully, the gambler can keep the distraction up for a little while longer.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured with that roll.
Oh boy.
All right, we're back to you guys. The admiral is currently on his knees with his hands up. Dakaya is still fumbling, doing something with the door. And the rest of you are kind of standing around with weapons drawn.
Well, like I said, you're going to call off the attack on the planet.
And how am I to do that? You destroyed my only comm.
Oh, you'll just have to report that there was a malfunction while we take you to the ship and give you orders to whoever is coming to help you. And if you so much as alert them, we shoot you. Trust me, I will. Even if it means we all die, I'm making sure you're coming with us.
He kind of gives you a grunt, but nods.
I mean, this whole thing was a power trip to get you in better favor, right? So what's the point of it if you're dead?
What do you want me to do?
Well, when whoever came, tell them that there was some sort of malfunction. You can attribute it to those alarms that are going off now. And tell them that you received intel that that you need to move on and go to your next objective and divert the fleet.
As you say this, Dakaya pops up. Oh, were you expecting him to talk to them? Yeah, that's not going to work anymore. I think this door's pretty well jammed. I'm going to have to bust in. Sorry, I thought we were trying to prevent people from coming.
Well, kind of are. Anyway, you know what? We can try and go to another comm station. Or, tell us how we can possibly give a message that would not be necessarily by your comm. I have a data pad here. Say your quick equipment malfunction. We do it that way, but some sort of code so they know it's coming from you.
Well, the comm channels are down, aren't they?
Yeah. Not to mention the power.
At this point, yeah, there's only dim emergency lighting coming from inside. anything with power has been drained. The emergency lighting and a few a few essential systems are being backed up with backup generators like life support and whatnot. Um,
Well, here's the deal. You see the ship, we've crippled it. And as I mentioned before, there are others who know the fleet's here, so you can either help us get off the ship and you can communicate with it, tell the fleet to, back down, move locations, not go after the planet, save your fleet, save our lives, do both objectives at the same time, or you're of no further use to us.
I am not refusing to help you. I simply need to know how you plan on getting me access to anything that will allow me to communicate with my friends. If, as you say, you have very thoroughly disabled any sort of communication to this ship, how am I supposed to talk to my people?
Well, this ship is disabled. We happen to have a ship on board. We get out of this ship. You communicate through our channels to the remaining of the fleet. They're alerted to the dangers. You give them their orders. You save the fleet. Simple. You just have to get us off the ship. We all have stealth generators. You can move around the corridors freely, especially in a crisis situation. And that's how it's going to work.
You expect me just to walk past my guards and tell them to stand down as I walk to some, what, hidden back alley that you have your ship hidden in?
Well, that's the general gist of the idea. I don't know if telling them to stand down would be the appropriate response. Maybe telling them we escaped and they should go hunt for us on a different deck. Like we're heading towards the bridge. Something like that. That would be believable.
It's at this point you start hearing banging on the door on the other side. Whatever you're going to do it now.
Do you have any prisoners on board?
Many. To which are you referring? Jedi.
Any Jedi?
We don't have time for this. We'll discuss it on the way. Admiral, would you be so kind as to tell your soldiers some sort of thing to get them to go away so we can get out of this room and on towards our ship? I mean, unless you want your entire fleet to be destroyed while you sit here communicationless.
Can I rise?
You may. If you make any false moves, I will kill you. But yes.
He starts to stand slowly. He pulls his arms down and very carefully starts touching his jacket. He pulls it down, straightens himself out, and then he makes his way towards the door.
Everyone activate your stealth generators.
All right, I need everyone to make a stealth roll.
With advantage?
Yes, because you were using the generators.
Glad that's advantage.
Everyone
why are
or
you
just this
rolling?
group? Yeah, I was gonna ask. Everyone or
Oh,
just this
oops.
group?
I thought it was everyone.
Sorry, just this group. Okay. All right, because what are you up to?
I'm going to stealth and try and make my way to the nearest hangar. To whatever means is necessary. To whatever means I can manage to get through the ship in its powered off state. And I want to stealth first, obviously.
Okay. Yep.
Well, not quite an Admiral 20, but as close as you can get.
All right, you disappear from the ether and start making your way through. It's taken you longer than it did before. You try and go through the same routes that you took to get here, but with all of the doors except essentials doors pretty much shut off. Um, like we're talking corridors, kind of thing. Um, it's taking a lot longer as you kind of have to wait on Sith soldiers to come and manually open the door to get to the next place. So it's going to take you a little bit of time.
It is okay with me.
Okay, and it takes you a little bit longer to get that door open, but eventually you get the power ready, and you look over your shoulder and you see that the device continues to crackle and pop, but then eventually it stops. And there's a few moments where the men start carefully moving up towards. In that moment, you feel a tap on your arm. Go.
Where you go?
As you move out the door, you see that the people inside start turning over. People outside look over. They see the door opening. Uh, there might be questioning as to how it happened, but most people, I think, are just happy just to have it open. And so you carefully, as they rush past you, you maneuver so that you're trying not to hit as many people as possible. Uh, Even in amongst the chaos, you hear the gambler's voice as he reaches the elevator. This one works. Come.
Okay. All right. Follow where I think his voice is.
He looks over. What what level do you think that the most where they would be on?
Most of them would be on. Our crew. Go ahead.
Well, we gotta meet up with them somewhere. Probably should have talked about that before we left.
True. Paquez is probably floating around the engineering bay, whatnot, engines. The others are probably on command deck.
They're probably gonna need an extraction.
That's what I'm thinking. We could head there as quick as we could.
If we can get to the command deck, I know that the guy can find me.
Alright. In that case, let's see if we can't get that regroup and then head back to the Malefic's Grace.
Like how you think. Alright, so he hits the button to the top level as you guys start going up.
You Sith do not see anything. We are but a figment of your imagination as the lights continue to flicker.
So the elevator has power?
This one, probably because it's an essential elevator or something.
Yeah, the one that he's found does. Alright, at this point, the soldiers have busted through the door, and it did take them a little bit of time. Takaya did her work pretty well. The door was pretty well sealed, but eventually the Sith soldiers break through. Admiral, are you alright? You hit your panic button. We came as soon as possible. He raises his hand. I'm fine. I probably whatever attacked our power set off that thing too and locked me in my room. Good. Now, escort me. I need you to escort me towards the bridge. We'll need to get this under control while we can. They all lock their legs and salute and turn around as they go. He slowly follows after him.
With us following close behind.
It's at this point, Shialu, Takaya nudges you. Ramai is close. I feel his presence coming nearer.
Well, it would be good if we can all meet back up, and we can see about getting off the ship. Do you think he'll be able to find us?
He will be able to find me. Okay.
Are we really just gonna let this guy go? I'm confused.
No, we're going with him.
Yeah, but I mean... what
I
happened
thought
to
you
the
didn't
plan?
want me to stab him.
No, wanted to take him into custody.
Well, out of character, I can discuss that later. But anyway, also, I still can't move my token for some reason. I can move the turn order thing around, but I still can't move my token.
I reset him.
Have you just like quit out of your browser and reopened Roll20?
Oh, it's not putting it like my cursor. I can click, but it's like 2 squares over from where he actually is. Yeah, I'm gonna refresh my browser because that's weird. There we go.
Cool. All right, just give me a sec.
So Ajax's plan is to just follow behind him and hope that he eventually tells the soldiers to go away, and then we lead him somewhere. And if he just keeps walking straight back to the bridge, you're just gonna shoot him at some point
Yeah, how?
with a
What
bunch of soldiers
happened?
around us.
Better than letting him live.
How'd the plan go so wrong? Yeah, your efforts to persuade him were very strange. Not what I thought the plan was. Talking about saving the fleet and saving him is sounded like saving him as the admiral.
Well, yeah, you gotta sell it. You gotta sell it right.
But that wasn't the plan. The plan was to take him prisoner and take him away. All the way back
And
to the
magically
Republic.
make him invisible while all of the guards magically don't see us. Yep, that's totally how it was gonna go.
This plan has changed like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I've just pretty much ignored your guys' plan.
Wonderful.
My plan is going great.
Okay.
While we're walking, I think I'm going to try to carefully reach out for my master.
All right, go ahead. You feel her presence a little bit more than you before. It's almost like maybe she's more animated, but you can feel that it's coming almost directly below you.
Like how far?
Probably one deck. All right, Ayland. As the elevator rises and the door opens, you see a collection of Sith soldiers, kind of moving towards the hallway. You guys watch for a few moments, and then the gambler nudges you. Takaya, she's coming around that corner now, along with a large presence of others.
Aelin nods. Sorry.
At this point, you've all been following the gambler, and it was a precarious situation getting in the elevator behind him and his 4 guards. But as you walked in the corridor, very, very sneakily, the Admiral has managed to position himself in where he's in the center of his 4 Sith soldiers, and you are forced to follow from behind them.
I don't like this. And yes, I whisper that in character to the others.
It's at this point the gambler stops. Or, I'm sorry, the Admiral stops as his men comes closer. Admiral, you're safe. We heard. Yes, I know what you heard. Status report. Engines are out. Power's been down to minimal. We don't know how, whether something is blocking our transmissions. We can't pinpoint where. Everything's in chaos. Internal communications are working, but other than that, we're not being able to send a signal out. See, has Darth Laurel given any orders?
Mm-hmm.
She simply said that we needed to find you. In the meantime, she should be. As he says this, a figure appears from the far end of the room, far end of the corridor. Admiral, I'm pleased to see that you are safe. I was worried when a commotion happened and your panic button was hit that you had been killed, or worse. You see the Admiral straighten up. Darth Loyal. No, I am well. A few bumps and scratches, but that had more to do with falling in my room. I'm otherwise unharmed. She looks at him over. I see. And what are your orders? So the Admiral gulps a little bit. I thought perhaps you would have given orders by now. Oh, I have, but you are the Admiral, and your fleet is right now incommunicative. Yeah, well, I was on my way to the bridge now to assess the situation. She gives a curt smile and points her hand off. Well then, by all means, after you. The Admiral straightens himself off again, and some of you can tell it's a little bit of a nervous tick that he's had now. And he starts walking towards her. What are you all doing?
I don't know what's going on anymore. This is getting bad.
Ajax will whisper, "Can someone tell Picasso if he still has that charge left to do something with it?"
Okay, well, I guess I will telepathically reach out to Picaz and send the thought explosion.
This is going to go well.
Because suddenly, in the voice of Shialu, the word explosion comes to your mind. Okay. Ayland, what are you doing?
Alan just looks down the hallway and everything inside his gut tells him something's not right, something's wrong. We need to exfil out of here. And he just leans over and whispers to Remy or Remi and says, "We need to get out of here, lad. Quickly. I don't like this hallway. I don't like the numbers. This is an ambush. We need to get going now."
You hear Remi audibly gulp as he looks down the corridor. Yeah. Okay. But we have to get the others in here now. After a second, Shiloh, Takaya looks at you. They're waiting for us right around the corner in the elevator. We have to go now.
What about the Admiral?
I think we have bigger problems than the Admiral now.
I agree.
My master is close. Almost under our feet.
Well, if we get to the elevator, we could go look for her.
Follow me. As you approach the elevator, the gambler, come on, quick, get in here. Island, push the button.
Aeon pushes the button.
As the door closes, you hear the gambler gasp, and then the elevator starts to fall. She saw us.
What? Who saw us?
Your master's one level down, you say?
I didn't catch that. What?
Your master. You said she's one level down.
Yes.
Let's just hope we can grab her before we have to leave.
Takaya, do you or the gambler know that Sith that was back there?
No, I've never seen her before, but didn't you feel that? She sent shivers down my spine. This is, if you forced, you just want to make a force check.
And if it's sensing dark side, I've got the. I can re-roll that if
Yep.
necessary. Let's see, what was that? Ah, distraction. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Where were we?
Yeah. So you guys just rolled the force check. It doesn't take much. As you start reaching out with your feelings just carefully, it doesn't even take long before you immediately feel a tremendous sense of the dark side, far beyond anything you feel coming from Takaya or the gambler. A sense of real power and danger from this woman, but also like calm satisfaction.
I'm just glad the Admiral took my death threat serious enough not to point us out.
What was that?
I'm sorry. I'm glad the Admiral took my death threat seriously enough that he didn't point us out.
Lad, I don't think he was worried about your death threat at that moment. I think he was more worried about what this person on the other side of the room was going to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much we could have done to him if he had given us away at that point.
Well, at least we know he values his own life. That much I figured. I was kind of counting on it.
Lad, I don't think he's going to have a life after this.
Well, that's his problem, not mine.
Alright,
And he
so-
probably figures I was bluffing the whole time anyway. So, yeah, we'll see.
as the elevator comes up, you the doors open and you see two Sith standing guard. They immediately draw their weapons and look at the empty elevator, and they look at each other.
Uh-oh.
Intruders! I see the glimmer! And start opening fire. Roll initiative.
Where's my token?
She disappeared in the elevator.
You fell out of the roof.
Well, that's a terrible roll if I've ever seen one.
It was a glitch in the game. You phased through the map geometry.
Oh
As
dear,
usual.
Shiloh.
Oops.
Hey, Jack. Oh,
Hey, the two, okay?
the dice. The dice.
Whew, a nat 20, no wonder. Yeah, there's no escape in that perception roll.
Nope.
Yeah, that. Well, Picaz might have with his his nat 20 stealth and the super bonuses.
Well, mine's not nat 20 anymore.
No, it wasn't.
I had to roll again, remember?
Ah.
I used the force.
But fortunately, they're just stupid Sith troopers. Poor guys. This is gonna hurt.
Indeed it is.
Oh, this is really going to hurt. It's going to be Remy and then myself.